And I'm Symphony Privet. Thank you for joining us here on Featured. We hope to inspire or simply make you smile with uplifting stories across the country. How many of you had big dreams when you were younger? And then as you got older and life got busy, you realized those things weren't going to happen. Well, don't be so convinced. Sean Giggy met one Texas man who is proving it is never too late to go after a dream.
Yeah, 12 years ago.
For Naz Thomas, looking back on his glory days is an exercise in exercise. Naz was once a champion bodybuilder.
Very good memories. It was good.
Almost turned pro.
The kettlebell squat that we did the other day.
But about a decade ago, Naz quit bodybuilding to focus on his career as a personal trainer here at Lifetime Fitness in Plano.
Good.
And things were going just fine until a few months ago.
I wanted to get back on stage. That was where my heart was, you know, after sports, this is bodybuilding.
On his 50th birthday, after 12 years away, Naz returned to bodybuilding.
Here we go.
It was a crazy decision, not because of his seniority, but because of his fragility. Naz is dying. 3 years ago, he was diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer. At this point, there's almost nothing doctors can do except try to contain it. The treatment is aggressive, which makes bodybuilding nearly impossible and highly remarkable. That treatment he's on kills virtually all of his testosterone, the building blocks of building muscle.
I know it'll be tough, but I'll find a way. I will find a way.
His first competition isn't until September. Even with time to train,
It actually feels good.
it may not make a difference.
Yes.
So why even try?
That's the word. You try. You don't give up.
More importantly, Naz says this time around, he carries a heavier burden.
Okay, 3 more.
He wants his clients to dream big and push past their own limitations
That was a good set right there.
and to believe that hard things are possible.
I got a chance to change another life, which I believe is going to be the best reward, because this journey is for awareness and hope and inspiration.
And proof that real strength isn't measured by how much weight you can lift,
And 10, I got that lock.
but how you can lift those around you.
Good job, baby. All right.
In Plano,
Protein.
I'm Sean Giggy.
Showing you care can be as simple as sharing a snack or giving someone a shirt to wear. That is the message from nonprofit leaders in South Carolina. They're operating a care closet at a local high school to honor 2 educators who were no longer living. Here's Erica Glover with their story. For any student walking the halls of Jure High School, a warm snack, hygiene essentials, and clothing assistance is only 1 knock away.
This is called the care closet, especially because not only do we provide snacks, but as you can see, we provide clothing, hygiene products, shoes. It's a care closet. We care about you. We care about the students here.
The Everlight Foundation's new care closet is just one of the ways the nonprofit is serving our Midlands community.
It's important to the Everlight Foundation because we care so much about what the children need and what the students need.
Nonprofit leader Rochelle Swinton says no one has to know.
And you said you like a shirt? Size small. Size small.
It's private and discreet, so no one has to know what they came in here to get.
The mission behind this movement is proudly displayed. These jerseys belong to the late Damian Jackson and Chris Allen.
Chris believed in helping people, and he actually had a closet in his classroom before the care closet came about.
Shannon Allen says Chris Allen was a husband, father, educator, and football coach, known for his random acts of kindness.
Doing small things that you would never hear about. That was him. A gentle giant, loved to care for people.
These photographs from April 23rd captured at our State House during a resolution in honor of Chris Allen, the 37-year-old's impact reaching beyond Jure High School.
My goal is to continue to keep Chris' name alive by any way that we can.
For LaTanya Jackson, it's a reminder of the need for widow support. Her husband, Dreer teacher and coach Damian Jackson, passed away in 2021.
Not only did Damian teach and coach here, he also played here. So this is his jersey number from when he was in high school. So that is really special.
Jackson says this care closet is a similar safe haven her husband joyfully provided.
When my husband was teaching here at Drew, he was a safe haven for a lot of students, and his classroom was a safe haven.
One of Coach Jackson's students was Everlight Foundation founder Miracle Singleton.
We wanted to make sure they can be able to have whatever they need in this very room.
Singleton says she created this safe space based on what she saw around her.
It's just amazing to see that face.
Our hearts are full of pride, and we're so grateful and so full of joy.
That was Erica Glover reporting from South Carolina. A 195-year-old volunteer in Texas is proving it is never too late to find purpose and a little joy along the way. Here's Kevin Reese.
Let's be honest, did you complain, did you grumble when you had to get up to go to work today?
Surgery volunteer, this is Anjanelle.
Well, a woman named Anjanelle Risley
Yes, he will.
would like to have a word.
You're quite welcome. I like being able to help people, and I like being busy.
Anjanelle has been busy for a very long time, a Texas Health Presbyterian Denton volunteer who's worn the green volunteer vest and blazer here for 27 years and is still working at the age of 95.
I think that it helps me to stay younger. Well, it helps me to know that I help somebody else. I just enjoy it.
She answers phones and helps patients navigate the surgery waiting room, a 3-hour shift at least once a week.
It's amazing. I love having volunteers here, especially Anjanelle.
Melissa East says Anjanelle is the oldest of 60 valuable volunteers.
She has a heart of gold, and she's always willing to help out and serve in any way she can. And I'm truly grateful for having her here and all that she does.
It's 12:31.
On the days that the phones maybe don't ring so much,
It's Minnie Mouse.
Anjanelle does have company.
She gives me the time, she giggles.
It's 12:33.
And this job, this sense of purpose, brings her joy too.
You get a lot of satisfaction out of just helping other people.
How much longer do you think you'll do this?
Until I can't. I don't know how long it's going to be. At this age, you just have to take it day by day.
And so as long as she can, Anjanelle and Minnie will be here to greet you and to remind all of us the value
You're welcome.
of time well spent.
Thank you. Bye.
In Denton, I'm Kevin Reese.
A Central Texas animal shelter is making it easier than ever to find your next best friend, and it won't cost you a thing. Sydney Walker has more about Colleen Animal Services' ongoing event where the adoption fees are waived and tails are wagging.
Colleen Animal Shelter is springing into love. Puppy love, that is. If you're looking for a sign to add a furry friend to your family, this is it.
Everyone is the same price, which is free.
Marcel Rudin, who helps with adoption, says the free adoption event, Spring into Love, helps more than just the animals.
We knew it was going to get pretty busy here as well, so it kind of helped us a little bit.
Spring is kitten season.
We have a lot of cats that get pregnant, come in off the street. There are lots and lots of litters.
But the event is also for Central Texas.
Times are tough for a lot of folks. Adoption prices can get pretty up there as well, so we wanted to show some love to our community.
And most of all, for the pets.
You're saving an animal's life. To give them a nice, safe, comfortable, amazing place to be is like our top priority.
It's not just saving the $50 to $75 in waived fees. Needed medication and some vaccines are included as well.
For cats, we give them their FVRCP shot. For dogs, we immediately give everybody their DAP and Bordetella and some dewormer as well.
Save an animal and change your life.
We think it's a really great time for people to come in, save some bucks, adopt the animal they really, really love, and meet their forever friend.
In Colleen, Sydney Walker.
Oh, she kisses. Thank you.
All right, coming up, a final wish fulfilled. How a project is working to make an impact as one family carries on their late daughter's legacy. Plus, Shop Talk is changing lives. We'll show you where doctors, convicts, and police officers share a barber chair and real conversations. One of the last wishes of a Maryland teenager is being fulfilled during the toughest battle of her life. She had an idea to make a positive impact on others. Her family is now carrying that idea forward. Sean Martinelli shows us how.
In hospital rooms all across Children's National Hospital.
I came here yesterday.
Appointments that start with chemo often end with Lego.
Yes.
Bricks now in the hands of Savannah Reed, made possible by another patient, Madison Smith.
When she was getting treated, there was not really a whole lot she could really do.
But Madison always did a Lego set.
Madison's parents, Molly and Jimmy, and her brother, Teddy, said those sets helped her through a diagnosis.
The strength that she had, she never complained about being sick.
Not even colorectal cancer at 14.
I think that just shows sort of her fortitude, right? So, sorry.
Madison showed that strength up until her passing in 2023. She left behind Lego sets that were finished, but a mission that was not, which is why in Madison's final months, she told her parents,
let's do a Lego drive.
A Lego drive while she was dying.
It was her idea, but I'm carrying it out in her honor.
Teddy's a sophomore here at Good Counsel High School in Olney, Maryland, where Madison was also a student. He says the idea says all you need to know about his sister.
Her passing really emphasized how great of a person she was and that we lost, you know?
So Teddy took Madison's Lego wish.
Yeah.
And made it happen.
I mean, she was my older sister, you know, she was always there for me.
The family hoped to collect a few sets for a few families, but here at Children's National, Madison's doctor, Arong Kim, says the impact went much further.
You know, Madison is clearly one of those, always, in my heart, I'll remember.
Not only because of the life she lived.
This is the Lego drive.
But because of the Lego legacy she left.
Lots of Star Wars.
One time we helped their family bring up all the Legos. It was just loads of trucks.
And it's amazing the outpouring of support that it's already been. I mean, we're talking about hundreds of Lego sets.
Hundreds of sets that have ended up in hundreds of rooms like this.
Yeah.
What's collected this year will be distributed in June on what would have been Madison's 19th birthday.
You don't really know how good something is until you lose it. When we keep doing it, it's like we're keeping her spirit alive.
Her spirit alive, and one of her last wishes fulfilled. In Washington, D.C., Sean Martinelli.
Wow, well, it's great to see that her wishes were fulfilled, and it also brings joy to younger kids who are experiencing some of the same things that she went through. Well, bridging the gap between kids and the community, one haircut at a time, a former police officer is using the barber's chair to get teens talking and to keep them out of trouble. Here's Laura Brzezinski.
Tyrone Dennis grew up in Fountain Park. He became a police officer in Atlanta, where he started Clippers and Cops.
Well, everybody's equal in the barbershop. When I started Clippers and Cops, I had doctors, lawyers, police officers, convicts, and crooks all in the same room. And we engaged in conversation as everyone had a voice.
And eventually it led him back home, where he's also the safety director for Rockwood Schools, continuing to mentor young people and even their parents. Dennis says there are several success stories, including a mom who brought her teen son, who had just gotten out on bond for 5 felonies, and over the course of a year turned his life around.
He started running cross country, broke the school record, and I told him if he do what he's supposed to do, I can help him try to get his charges removed, and we were able to do that, and we presented it to him at his graduation.
His barber, Dimitri Gibson, loves what he does and the mentorship it brings.
I give advice, and I help out wherever help is needed, but first thing you have to do is get them to trust you and trust your judgment. So you have to lead by example.
In Gibson's chair as we chatted is 16-year-old Christian Ford. It's his 3rd time at Clippers and Cops.
I like them a lot because it really just shows you the different views from different people and how people feel about the community. I would say I struggle a lot with staying out of this type of bad stuff because a lot of people approach me usually and try to get me into it, and I just never really liked it.
And when I asked him what he learned and what he wanted to see from his peers, this was his message.
I just want to see less violence and just people act more mature and start coming to school a lot more.
That was Laura Barczewski reporting, and it is great that those barbers are stepping in to be that safe person for teenagers. We know how hard it is to actually trust someone older than you and feel like they understand what you are going through. Kudos to them. All right, coming up after the break, for many survivors, leaving abuse isn't just about walking out the door. It's about figuring out how to get to safety. We'll introduce you to the North Texas organization making that journey possible. And ahead in our next half hour, she's not just a teacher, but an advocate for students with special needs. How her daughter's legacy is inspiring her mission. For some families, rising transportation costs can be a barrier to getting help. Tiffany Liu in Dallas spoke with an organization working to cover the cost of freedom.
Every dollar is transformative.
There is a saying that nothing in life is free.
It becomes a pain point.
And that is felt.
We were not expecting a full dollar.
Through rising gas prices and high airfare.
It's gotten really expensive.
If they're able to pick you up.
It means the cost of freedom is more expensive too.
And yet our demand for services has not changed. If anything, it has increased.
Families to Freedom is willing to pay the price. With volunteers like Carrie Haney.
This was a really good fit.
They provide free transportation by car, bus, or plane for North Texans escaping abuse.
When you call, they kind of take the ball.
From car seats to suitcases.
Little markers.
Even gifts for the family.
We intend it to be like, we've got you.
It's all part of the deal.
It's the hardest decision I think anyone could ever make.
Carrie wishes years ago she knew about Families to Freedom.
It took being attacked and him going to jail for the night.
As a survivor of domestic violence,
I wonder if I would have been brave enough to use it.
In March alone, the organization helped 70 people leave abusive situations.
We have transported 749 adults plus 649 children, and we embarked on travel 901 times, and that's just in 12 months.
Founder and CEO Sarah Nadel says their April calendar is filling up fast.
I have the spelling of your first name.
And the upcoming summer months will be even busier.
Just calling to check on you. Did you just get to shelter recently?
No matter the distance.
Any specific place in Colorado?
No matter the cost. Those in crisis can rely on them to leave.
Do you want to leave the state? Do you want to leave Texas altogether?
Sarah urges volunteers not to shy away.
We have vehicles that our volunteers can use, or volunteers can use their own vehicle, and we reimburse based on the mile.
And she encourages those who can to donate. Money goes directly to victim services.
Hundreds of children. We see hundreds of children every year.
When families finally make it to freedom.
I'm really, really proud of them.
It is worth every penny.
Yeah, they absolutely save lives.
In Dallas, I'm Tiffany Liu.
I hope they are all very proud of each other for helping survivors make it out on the other side. We're still ahead, a new coffee shop with a higher purpose, how it is helping loved ones honor someone they lost and helping others through their own grief. And a group of college students in Colorado are using their learning to help those with special needs. We'll show you their invention and how it's already being used. Thank you for staying with us here on Featured. I'm Symphony Privet, and we are continuing to bring you uplifting stories across the country. A new coffee shop in Wisconsin is serving up more than a cup of joe. Java Jack's sounds like just another creative coffee house name, but as Boyd Hubert finds out, the story behind this shop goes much deeper.
Sometimes before the sun rises, grief dawns on us. 200 dawns have lifted the sky over Baldwin, Wisconsin since the world darkened. For Laura Ritchie.
It's Jack's birthday today.
There's nothing left to do.
He would have been 36.
Jack Ritchie and his big sister grew up the tightest of siblings.
We wanted to buy land together.
Land, so they could build houses next to each other.
He was the closest person to me.
All your pleasure, all your pain.
Jack was delivering DoorDash a few hours before sunrise, October 1st, last year.
We have breaking news this morning. First responders are at the scene of a serious crash in Eau Claire.
That SUV being driven by an alleged drunk driver fleeing police with his lights off slammed into Jack's compact car. Now, before the sun comes up and after.
It's almost like your day is kind of filtered by this pain, you know, of this very important person not being there anymore for anything.
Filter in more ways than one.
Java Jack's. He loved coffee.
Good morning.
On Jack's birthday,
It's our grand opening.
Java Jack's is born.
Thanks for coming in.
Laura tried going back to her office job.
Hi.
But too much had changed. In December, she bought the building. Then Laura brought in Liz Hoyt,
Hello.
Jack's former girlfriend, as her manager.
The mission is to share Jack's memory.
Lovingly, they decorated the shop with pictures of Jack and the places he loved. Guitar music is a must. Jack's 3 favorite instruments hang on the walls.
Still being able to share his story, his words, his music. I just think that's so important.
And we got up at 4 a.m. to be here.
Jake Nelson and kids Manly, Emmett, and Olivia drove an hour from Barron.
That's Jack and that's me.
It's what you do for your best friend since 3rd grade, your best man, and the godfather of your firstborn.
Well, I came here because I wanted to be the first customer so I could give her her first $1.
Okay. Thanks so much.
Laura plans to donate a portion of her profits to groups supporting the victims of drunk drivers and their families.
Beautiful memories.
And host a grief support group here.
It's the guitar-shaped spoon. Isn't that cool? Happy birthday to Jack. Thank you so much.
Having felt the love, she wants to share it.
Chocolate chip cookies.
As they cook and clean, Jack will never be far away.
Always watching over us.
Well, I guess God only knows.
At dawn and all day.
He's not forgotten, that's for sure.
Boyd Hubert.
An adaptive physical education teacher in San Diego is advocating for her students. She's using her experience to inspire kids who might need a little extra help. Here's Jeff Sevely.
You can see it on their faces. Adaptive PE is where these students come alive, and they may have found the best teacher ever.
Go Aiden, go Aiden, go. Go Aiden, go Aiden, go.
Miss Alicia Linder supports her students with every jump and step
Go, go, go.
of the way.
Derek, can you say hi? Look at this cute face. How could you not love this face?
In every one of her students' faces, she sees her daughter, Charlie.
I was the lucky one. Charlie taught me more in her short 12 years than I could have learned in a lifetime.
Charlie suffered from a rare genetic disorder called DeBarcy syndrome.
She was in a wheelchair. She had a G-tube for feeding. She had a seizure disorder, was legally blind and non-speaking.
Charlie died in 2015, which is when Miss Alicia decided to turn her career into a calling.
It's a beautiful thing for me as a principal to see.
Lauren Robinson is the principal at Hawthorne Elementary.
She has taken such a personal trauma and loss and really been able to turn that into, how do I take my personal tragedy and make the world a better place?
Do you want to say hi? Hi. Hi.
It's hard to see who's having more fun, the students or Miss Alicia.
Coach Linder, as you can see, she's down there with the kids. She comes from a place of knowing.
Jacob DeGearing is a case manager for children with extensive support needs.
Oh, jump, jump, jump.
He marvels at Miss Alicia's commitment to every child.
She's a mom. She's worked with students on both sides of the fence. And when she came here to Hawthorne, she immediately jumped into my group with an egg shaker.
Oh, get it, Kayla. Go, go, go.
Miss Alicia wants the world to see her students, not for their disabilities, but for their joy.
You guys are amazing. So
For
great.
her, every day at school is time spent honoring Charlie's memory.
She was a big sister. She was a horseback rider. She was a swimmer. She was an amazing kid, and she has a memorial tree up where she did her horseback riding.
And just like with Charlie, when a child can't speak, a hug tells you everything you need to know.
I'm the luckiest, huh? Am I the luckiest?
Congratulations, Miss Alicia. Here's a $500 Visa gift card. This is yours to spend on whatever you want because you're this month's classroom hero. In the Zevely Zone, Jeff Zevelin.
Oh, that was an awesome story from Jeff Zevely. A group of college students at Colorado State University invented a new sensory toy. They designed it to help a 13-year-old boy who has limited mobility from cerebral palsy and a respiratory disorder. Amanda Gilbert shows us how the toy works.
College students build some pretty cool things. E-Days at CSU gives undergrads a chance to showcase their work.
People don't think about how that water is treated.
It's work students hope other people can use. Good, how are you? Ella Olemder and her team had one person in mind they wanted to help.
We got tasked with creating a toy for our Wish Kid Lamar.
Make-A-Wish coordinator Kelsey Beckman asked this group to grant 13-year-old Lamar Jenkins' wish.
His mom made the wish on behalf of him, so she wished for this custom sensory toy to be built.
He is nonverbal. He only has this movement of his arms, that's it. Pretty much the only requirements that his mom gave us were he likes doors opening and closing, and he likes lights turning on and off.
There's a classic movie that also loves those things.
So we have a Monsters Inc. kind of themed door where there's a wristband attached to his arm. He moves his arm, the door opens, the light turns on.
Oh, yes. Okay, perfect.
He moved and the door opened and we all like jumped up and down and clapped. His smile is just so massive and you can just tell how pure of a heart he has.
This device is called Lamar's Wish.
He is the one that gets to open the door. He gets to decide when the light turns on and off.
It's going to give him the opportunity to have some independence that he didn't have before.
It's a school project that's making a real difference for this family.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
I'm a big fan of Monsters, Inc., so I loved this. And Lamar can also move his arms to play music. The students told me that they actually made 3 copies of this device, so Lamar can play with it and other people as well. In Fort Collins, Amanda Gilbert.
One woman in Pennsylvania truly embodies what it means to show up for others. She's poured more than 1,000 hours into a local Christian social service agency, but those numbers don't even begin to tell the whole story. Here's James Tully.
So you want that down here.
At the New Hope Ministry Center in New Oxford, Millie Baker shines as a source of hope for anyone who walks through the doors. She's volunteered more than 1,300 hours here.
What does that number mean to you personally?
It's a validation that my time here was worthwhile.
With only 2 paid positions, volunteers like Millie are the lifeblood of this operation.
We can't survive without volunteers, including our cook that cooks in this kitchen.
Wow. Well, when I first came here to interview, Millie was at the front desk.
and was this great welcoming smile. And that is how she is for everybody who comes through the door.
With a background as both a pastor and clinically licensed social worker, Millie's approach to helping others is as straightforward as it is powerful.
I'm a solution-focused person. You tell me a problem, and we're going to figure out something to make it better.
And one of the things that was really important to the team here at New Hope is that this food pantry is set up to look just like a grocery store. That way anybody coming here and getting items doesn't feel embarrassed and they feel welcome.
It's just like going to a grocery store. Here, so you're not looked down upon that you're pulling stuff out of a box somewhere, miscellaneous throwaways.
1 year ago, this New Hope Center was assisting 350 families. Now, that number is just under 600 families. The need is growing, sure, but also it could be that more people are finding this help. Help that goes beyond food, by the way. Classes are offered on everything from money management to improving workforce development. And for Millie, perhaps the most powerful thing this place offers isn't found on any shelf or in any classroom. It's community.
Together, you're not alone and isolated. Together, there's other people that understand. There's solutions to whatever's going on to make it better than it is right now.
James Tully.
Still ahead, a little girl turns heartbreak into hope. How she's using the pageant stage to honor her father and fight for awareness after a devastating loss. And
he is in control, and we're optimistic that she will have a new leash on life.
a family waits for a transplant to save their mom's life. How some of her children's friends are now taking action to help. At just 7 years old, one little girl in West Texas is turning heartbreak into purpose. She is now raising awareness about colon cancer. It's a disease that took her father's life. And now through pageants and a platform she calls 37 Matters, she's using her voice to educate others on the importance of early detection, hoping to give another family more time with the people they love. Cameron Leal shares her story.
In a world of crowns and confidence, Princess Carrasco is using her voice for something much bigger.
37 Matters is a platform that I can raise awareness, and I also use my voice to raise awareness.
Princess lost her father Alejandro when he was just 37 years old to colon cancer, but his memory lives on as the inspiration behind her platform's name.
My dad was very kind, loving, and smart. They did surgery, but he didn't make it through the surgery.
But even in his final months, her dad was thinking about others.
A couple months before he passed away, he actually raised money for more colon cancer awareness campaigns, ones that kind of helped him travel with his family to do like Make-A-Wish, I guess. And even looking through, like watching Victor's segment, I was like, oh, and she was like, my dad had that. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, well, look, he's talking about it and other people are knowing, kind of like the 37 Matters. And she was like, well, I want other people to know about my stuff too. I want people to know about my dad. So everyone who has it can kind of get together and raise more awareness.
What you are doing is so beautiful. And it is just amazing that someone as young as you is doing something so important.
And while the mission starts with the message, the goal is bigger, to one day become a nonprofit, supporting families and spreading awareness in communities that need it most.
It's really humbling, if anything, because I hate that she has to do this, or feels like she has to, but I love that she wants to keep something that was so painful with so much pride.
But for now, it all starts with small acts of kindness, notes of encouragement, and a little girl determined to make a difference. Cameron Leal.
For 12 years, one mom in Georgia has battled an autoimmune disorder that damaged her lungs so severely she depends on oxygen just to get through the day. She is on the list for a double lung transplant, but now a group of her daughter's teenage friends is doing what they can to lighten the load. Here's Madison Riggs.
I can't say too much, I'll start crying like a baby.
For Marla Roche, even the sound of her daughter's name is enough to bring her to tears.
Of course, we're all anxious. Dory, primarily, that's one of the reasons why she didn't want to interview today, is she's nervous.
A feeling Marla knows all too well, speaking for her daughter when Dory Clark couldn't find the words herself.
She loves deeply. She is very firm in her faith, her walk with God, and that's where she finds her strength.
Strength Dory has carried for 12 years as she fights this disease, but one thing brings her a sense of normalcy is her job.
Up until the point that she gets the phone call, it is our hope and prayer that she is still able to do that, because it keeps her mind occupied. You know, this is going to be a long journey.
A journey Graham Bozeman is now a part of.
Tote was saying they're going to be in the hospital in Atlanta for a long time and not going to have much income, so I was like, okay, well, this can help out with that, whatever it can help out with.
Bozeman and a group of friends did what they know best, organizing a truck meet to raise money for their friend's mom.
If they want to raise money for a family member or just a friend or somebody they know, it's really good. It brings a lot of people together, I'll say that.
And for the Clark family, that community coming together means everything as they wait for the call that could give Dory a second chance at life.
That was Madison Riggs reporting from Georgia. Why not take something they were probably already going to do anyways and turn it into a good cause? All right, now we are heading over to the wild side for this next story. One partnership at the Atlanta Zoo is making our planet cleaner. Joe Ripley explains how all of us can play a part in protecting our environment.
Whether you have tusks, fur, or feathers, we can all play a part in keeping our planet clean.
As a conservation organization, sustainability is Zoo Atlanta's central mission. It's about leading by example. It's not what we teach, but it's about what we do.
Amy Arnold manages facilities operations at Zoo Atlanta. She also helps lead the Green Team, which pushes recycling efforts throughout the park to help the environment.
It definitely needs our help. It can sometimes feel very overwhelming. And so what I like to teach people is that small impacts can make a big difference.
It can take years for plastic to break down in a landfill. Arnold says dumping cans, plastic, and glass all in a recycling bin rather than a trash can go a long way.
Last year, we diverted roughly about 8,000 pounds of glass from going into a landfill, and that is equivalent to a male rhino.
The zoo even recycles the stinky stuff into compost. Stacy Bursko, Regional Vice President of Proof of the Pudding, says the caterers' partnership with Zoo Atlanta helps protect the planet.
Not only do we do recycling programs, everything that we buy that is disposable is eco-friendly, compostable.
Proof donates any unused food to the Gooder Foundation's local food pantry.
We make sure that all that food is high-end quality that is going to homeless folks to try and support them, and again, being eco-friendly.
A reminder that it takes a village, a zoo, all of us, to keep our planet clean.
And that was Joe Ripley reporting from Atlanta. Well, for decades, Little T Racetrack in Connecticut has shaped young drivers and built a strong community, but now it is celebrating 50 years in business. Here's Victoria Anderson with more.
To hit the gas, because it's fun when you hit that gas.
50 years of fun in the fast lane. That's what families are celebrating as the Little T Speedway marks 50 laps around the sun and 50 seasons of inspiring racers.
Not a lot of these parents knew necessarily their kids were going to be race car drivers, but once they got behind the wheel, they saw the change, the maturity, the sportsmanship, how much they grew, how much confidence they gained, and they said, well, my kid's going to start racing.
Justin Benson, who works with the volunteer nonprofit, says the sport not only teaches invaluable lessons, but involves the whole family.
Are you the engineer of all this?
That's what they call me.
8-year-old Cara Levitt's crew includes her dad as the head of her pit crew and her biggest fan, Mom, in the stands.
In my division, I'm kind of like the only girl.
She fell in love with racing after coming to the track's Arrive and Drive, an event series that introduces the sport to kids with no equipment or training necessary. And now she's locked in for life.
What's your dream?
To be a NASCAR driver.
And the Speedway is now looking to adapt to fit these future NASCAR drivers.
We just partnered with USNE Power, which is going to actually look at upgrading our entire lighting system so we can run races at night too.
The hope is that these upgrades get the Speedway ready for the next 50 years of fast fun.
That was Victoria Anderson reporting from Connecticut. I bet there's some generations of racers that have been practicing out there, so we'll see what comes in the next several years. Alrighty, coming up after the break, we are sharing a story about sport, a community, and what happens when passion gets passed down. Cricket is one of the most popular sports in the world, second to only soccer. Well, it is growing in the Pacific Northwest. And St. Brian takes us inside the Seattle Thunderbolts Cricket Academy, where they're not just teaching a sport, they're building something bigger.
Inside an industrial park warehouse in Redmond, you'll hear the unmistakable crack of the bat. But this is not quite baseball, not quite anything most Americans grew up with. Still, to these kids,
Well bowled.
it's everything.
Oh, what a ball.
Every Thursday night, dozens of children, some as young as 5, swing bats nearly as tall as they are, learning footwork, timing, and patience, and maybe most importantly, belonging.
I think cricket is a lovely sport. It teaches a lot about being fit, being social, leadership.
For many families here, cricket isn't new, it's a piece of home.
This is something that binds the two cultures together.
Parents who grew up playing the game in places like India, where cricket is a religion, have brought that love with them to the Pacific Northwest. And now, they're passing it on. 9-year-old Kayer Deshpande loves batting.
Oh, I just want him to have fun. That's the goal. Play the game for fun. Be happy. You know, get dirty out in the field, dive, and catch a ball, hit the ball, and just have fun.
At this academy, training goes beyond just hitting and bowling. There's structure, mentorship, even lessons in handling pressure on and off the field.
I wanted to bowl here, shoot your straight leg, and then jump.
Because the goal isn't just to create good players, it's to create well-rounded people.
It's more than sport. I think it's about bringing community together. I think sports builds communities and happy communities.
And the kids, they're all in.
Well, I've been playing since I was 8.
13-year-old Iro Mohindru practices here every day. She dreams of joining the national women's team.
For my dad, it would absolutely be his dream because he's been supporting me since day one. He wants this, we both want this, so yeah, it'd be amazing for him.
That dream might not be as far-fetched as it once was. Seattle is home to the Major Cricket League Orcas, who play home field games at Merrymore Park. Their minor league team, the Seattle Thunderbolts, won a national title in 2022.
I think winning the tournament was putting ourselves on the map, which was very important. What it led to is more awareness.
The path forward is clearer than ever for a group of kids learning to believe in themselves one swing at a time.
That was St. Brian reporting from Washington. Well, that's it for this episode of Featured. Until next time, make it a great one.